There we
Good
go.
afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Author's Quill. I hope everyone's having a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're on our big, beautiful blue planet. I know y'all heard me last night till 1 a.m., so for any of our regular fans, none of that conversation today. That's off limits on this show. Just so y'all know. But the chat comes on later today, so y'all can get into whatever insanity y'all want to on that show. But as most people know, Author's Quill's been around for about a little over 2 years now, and the show is really designed to just really deal with authors, illustrators, and maybe pushing of some new books here and there, and helping out some publishers and stuff like that that are trying to get stuff out there. Why does John have on a cowboy hat? Because he lives in LA, and that's the thing now. Jessica, you see, John, he's been on the show with a cowboy hat. Yes, he is. Last time he was, it was last year when he was out in Nevada somewhere. So it was
a couple weeks ago, I was in St. Louis at the Western Writers of America.
Oh, see, that's where it was.
Conference.
It's Kirby. No, Oh no, her contact information is actually on the page. Yeah, you're talking about the show I was talking with John just a few minutes ago. Yeah, so when you see the banner scroll by, which there will be one here in a little while, it has their contact information on the bottom. Whatever websites they send us will be scrolling through on the banner itself. Yeah, we always put them in there. You know, that way they're there for life. So anybody can go back a decade from now. Yeah, we have archives now from 1999. And I think we 117,000 archives ago. Yeah, you could actually pick up one of our shows, turn it on, and not have to listen to the same show again. Well, 3 decades, 2.5 decades, and by that time you'll be another 3 decades ahead of you. So you can listen. You only have to listen to the same show twice. Anyway, welcome, Sheila. Welcome to the show, John. Welcome to the show. I know we got somebody else come on. I'll drag them on in a few minutes. How's life treating you? Where you at, in Texas?
Nope, I'm right here.
I know where you are.
He looks like he's in Texas. That's yeah.
She's got the official Texas lingo there going on, her accent.
Oh, do I? Oh my gosh.
No.
I know. I'm like, yes, I'm in Dallas, Texas, but north of Dallas, Texas. We're actually in McKinney.
Dallas is a whole nother country. So, and y'all's interstates are Jesus Christ,
giant flyover.
Even the GPS is like, what is this? I have to drive through every once in a while, and I'm like, God, I hope I don't have to get off on any of these flyovers.
Flyovers are scary. You're like, don't look down. Don't look down.
There's a particular place in Dallas when you get there, people, that there's roads going everywhere. In every direction, there's a road. It's going somewhere, and I'm sure it has a destination somebody wants to go to because there's lots of cars on it. But and anytime, matter of fact, the last 11 times I've gone through Dallas, guess what there's going on? Road construction. Every time there's road construction. So then they divert you here, divert you there. Poor GPS is having a heart attack. It doesn't know where you are. Thank God I'm kind of half but familiar with Texas. I'm from Louisiana, so I spend a lot of time in Texas. But it's from it's definitely a different place to live.
Yeah.
It's right.
Very unique. That's for sure.
Much different than Houston, by the way. It's
yes.
I always say, oh, Dallas and Houston, just like I said, obviously you've never been to Houston. They're like, what do you mean? I said, Houston is nothing like Dallas. Dallas is nothing like Houston. No. So they don't even have the same attitudes. I said, it's a whole different attitude.
Exactly.
They're like, what? I said, just go, you'll find out. I said, Houston's closer to Atlanta, New Orleans style city. I said, that's not Dallas. That's still partly Wild West. Little kind of still woven in there somewhere. And what y'all got? What is it? Dallas, Fort Worth is connected.
Yeah. It's so funny that they're metroplexes because they're decent 40 minutes apart.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how long they're going to be apart. Eventually, one day it's just going to be one massive city from one side to the other side. Yeah. But it's got to be a great place to be, to sell stuff, to distribute stuff. I mean, hubs come out of there all over the place. I know at least 9 or 10 friends of mine that work in the trucking industry that either have a business there or routing through there.
Yeah. There's a lot of headquarters here. Especially the towns of Frisco and Plano, did huge drives to get world headquarters in their cities. And so that obvious tax breaks, there's no state tax in Texas. And they gave them even more tax breaks to move their headquarters here. So we have a decent amount of giant corporations that are headed, that are all headquartered here.
Them in Atlanta seem to be taking over. They're pulling everything out of California and New York. They're either going to Florida or they're going to Texas. They don't seem to even want to go anywhere else. And which is great for Texas and Florida. It's good for the South in general. It brings in jobs. It brings in money.
Yeah. My little town of like converted cattle pastures of Princeton, so just like 10 minutes east of here, is like the 5th largest growing city in America. And it's like, what? Like, because they're just so many.
As long as they leave their Californian in California and just bring their bodies and.
Well, you know what? I have noticed a lot of Californians are not voting liberal when they come out west or when they come out east. They're kind of like, you know what? Nah, it didn't work out there. Why screw up some? Because Texas is offering a lot of things that you're not going to get in California. First, no state tax. Right. Right off the bat, for any company or for anybody makes any real money, you're thinking no state tax. Plus, their sales tax isn't real high. Mm-hmm. Their property tax isn't horrible as states go. There's just a lot of big breaks. Plus, the fuel's always cheap there, almost as cheap as it is where I live. But it's sometimes you can see gas well below $2 a gallon in Texas. Not in Dallas so much because Dallas is too far north. Yeah, y'all are a little too far north, but you got to understand how Texas is, Kurt. You got lower Texas where Houston is. They're at kind of the bottom of the state, Corpus Christi and stuff like that. Where she's at, they're 2/3 Interstate 20, so they're about 2/3 of the way up the state. You get cold weather up down. Yes, they even get snow sometimes.
We love ice. Yeah. We love ice storms.
Oh yes, y'all too.
Ice storms to form on trees, and so then all the trees break and power lines break. So yeah, we love ice.
But for what you do, I mean, it's got to just be a great location. It's
yeah, it is. It's very big in tech. Dallas is huge over Houston and other Texas entities, and then we actually even created our own nonprofit for like North Texas AI. Because there's so much building going on here, and we're like, might as well link all this together.
Might as well.
Get students involved, get curriculums involved, and so people can go from high school into university and get hired by companies who are looking for people who have taken these curriculums. So that's kind of it's a big thing here. It's kind of trying to be the new Silicon Valley for sure.
It
looks like it's heading that way. That's for sure.
It is.
Definitely heading that way. So now, Joe, earlier I sent you, Sheila sent links for the Books.io. We've got Battlefield's book and Battlefield's audiobook on this new system. I know you're on back in April, I think it was when we launched this thing, but I just wanted to let people know too, as it's a new technology, as we're talking about technologies here. Right. And can you explain a little bit?
Absolutely. It is a proprietary technology. So our founders created a new file type that is completely decentralized and encrypted. So what that means is it's wonderful for you authors out there and for anybody with IP, even if you're, Dell, like we can protect your IP. So they take your book, audiobook, whatever, and they break it into millions of pieces and they encrypt each one of those pieces and then they pin it all over the world. And so there's absolutely no way that somebody can get a hold of your book, download it, stick it on the dark web. It's only when you prove that you are the owner, because this being blockchain, you actually own that digital file. Each digital file is completely unique. This is not a license to read one file in the cloud. It is each digital file completely unique. You own that digital file. And so you put in your password of I own this, and our technology goes and starts putting all those pieces together. So it puts it together page by page. If it's an audio book, it's putting it together second by second. So there's never a chance for you to be able to grab that entire book and do a right-click download, or try to hack the system and get this entire book. Even if you were able to figure it out and decrypt it, you're going to get one page or 1 second. So it's a great thing we are all about creators here. We are all about protecting people's IP, giving you the opportunity to keep writing, keep creating. Like, that's why we are here. So that's the technology in a quick nutshell.
That's good. So one thing that people might not understand is that when you get a Kindle book or Audible book, do you own them?
You do not. Breaking news for anybody.
Pray tell.
Yeah. So, and I mean, people are like, no, look at my Kindle. I have 10,000 books. Congratulations. You actually own 10,000 licenses to consume that book. That means at any point, Kindle can take that away. It can say, oh, we're going to change this book. Oh, maybe this is not culturally acceptable anymore. So we're going to delete that book or delete that part of that book. You do not own that book. And it's very easily proven by turning to your neighbor and saying, hey, can you send me that book? And can you? Right? Like, where's that function on Kindle? It's like, oh, actually, I don't know how, right? And it's because
they don't have
a license. Yep. So there's one file uploaded in the cloud, and the rest of you all own licenses to read that file.
Yeah, it's a bit on the cheesy side. But
it is.
Anyway, they've been doing it for a while, and people are.
Because most people don't realize it. Most people don't even have a clue. They just think it's on their Kindle or on their pad. That's it.
I didn't really realize this until I met Sheila and started chatting with her. I said, wow, I actually didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, I realized it before then because I got into it with Amazon.
Prime.
Well, I got into it for Prime. I had just bought a series of movies and they disappeared off my screen. They said, well, they're no longer with us. So, well, I'm getting a refund, right? Because I bought them for life. I said, they belong to me. I said, yeah, well, I can't access them, so I get a refund. They're like, well, no. I'm like, well, yeah. I said, well, I'll just take it to court. We'll see what the judge has to say about it. Immediately, not within 24 hours, they had the money back in my account. But if I wouldn't have said anything, they would have just been gone. And if I would have waited, say, another week or so, wouldn't have got anything out of them. Because they're supposed to notify you now when they do that, or when something becomes free that you paid for. That. So this is one of their famous things, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. You'll buy a movie or a series, and then they make it free. And then one day down the line, they decide to recharge for it. But when they recharge for it, you no longer own it. You have to buy it again. Somehow or another, whatever you bought because it was made free went away. Yeah, it's a scam and a half, babes.
It is. And there's, you guys have millions of people watching this, so I'm sure there's a couple who game and probably are very aware of some of the stuff that PlayStation has recently revoked. And everybody's losing their games, losing things that, but I bought that game. No, you didn't.
I think my son spent more time fighting with Xbox and Sony than playing the freaking games.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding y'all. I know it was always something didn't work right, or they didn't get something right, or they purchased this and it didn't show up, or they got it and then it didn't work and they didn't give them there was a lot of nightmare. And gaming's different because technically people don't realize that gaming's technically always beta tested. So when you get a game online, if you buy a game on a disc, it's different. They can't do that because purchased a disc. But
right.
Online, it actually says in the thing, every game is considered beta testing. So if there's a major error, oh, well, you're just, too bad, so sad. You shouldn't have let it glitch. It's like it's your fault or something. I don't know what to do with these people. It makes me crazy watching this. So they scam us in the books, they scam us in the movies, they scam us on the TV, they scam us in the games. And we, the consumer who has all the power, just lets it happen.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. And I know nobody likes it. That's I think what bothers me the worst is it doesn't matter who you talk to, no one thinks it's good. But somehow or another it still seems to go unchecked.
Mm-hmm.
But on the positive side of life, we've got Sheila here, and she's able to tell us all about this amazing book that the reason why she's here is because we worked together on the this was the original version of the book, Battlefield Earth, but now we've got
The
this version, which is what you'll find on Books.io.
Yes.
And you also have in the actual painting as well. The artwork is one of the add-ons that comes with it. So you get it doesn't say this, it's just a straight art from Frazetta.
Art. Yep, exactly.
It's an amazing piece of art that you get as part of the package that you get when you get the book. Now, Joe, you play this book twice a year for New Year's and was it Christmas? Is it 2 times in December?
Yeah. So what it plays is this one, and there's a couple things that actually play. No, Christopher John won't let me play Mission Earth. Sorry, I know I've talked about it.
We're talking about Battlefield Earth, Christopher.
Yeah, and I knew he was going to say it as soon as we brought it up. This plays Battlefield Earth plays the week before Christmas and the week before New Year's. It runs the entire week. I think I've got it set at like 6.6 hours, so it runs all 7 days or 5. Anyway, it's set up to cross out a 5-day. The first time I ever did it, I did it at 8 hours a day because it's 46 hours, I think. And it was insane. Listen, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit more. What is so funny is at any given time when you go look, there'll be anywhere from 1,000 people to a couple of 100,000 people listening to it. They're just sitting there listening to it. And you know they're not going to hear it all. So somewhere along the line, they're going to either have to go buy the book or get the audio because there are going to be gaps in whatever they were listening to.
Right.
And because it's too long to sit and listen every day. I guess if you're retired or if you're in school, it's not. For during the holidays, most people's lives are like zing, zing, zip, zip. And we play it in the daytime. So actually, that's not even true. It plays in the daytime and it repeats at night. Same one replays in the day and then it plays again at night. So you can hear it day or night, but it runs the entire time along with War of the Worlds is awesome. We have the original, the audio version of War of the Worlds, the radio version. It's great because when you listen to it in its entirety, the real thing, you can see why people were panicking. You're watching it.
Books.io?
Wait, was it?
I was asking Sheila, do you have War of the Worlds on Books.io?
We do. It was part of our original monster series. So yeah, it was the very first series that we put out. So we do have the ebook and audiobook available. So yeah, you got to preserve the classics. So that was our main thing is, once it goes on blockchain, you can't take it back, you can't change it. And so we have spent the last 4 years making sure all the classics are up.
Like Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn are the original ones?
Absolutely.
Well, that's good, because I hate it when they decided that it was politically incorrect.
Yep.
It's like,
they politically incorrect now. And no, blockchain is not just for Bitcoin, baby. So.
It is not.
It's used for a lot of things. Actually, got a lot of great good.
Yeah. And that's sadly what people think about it, and sadly, it affects if people go and buy it. I'm like, but a book is a book is a book, and you want to read a book. So don't you pay in USD, right? You can use credit card. Nobody cares about the price of Ethereum or Solana. We have books, and if you want to read the book, come, right? So it always baffles me when people are like, oh, the market's just not good for you guys, huh? And I was like, it's culture, it's media. Like, it does not affect the price that we put up.
They just don't get
the price that you pay.
They hear blockchain, their brain goes.
Exactly. So this is the very innocent, happy side of blockchain for everybody who doesn't understand it. Blockchain is amazing technology,
Yes.
but then people put cryptocurrencies on top of, and so that's what everybody thinks about. But you can do it. Everything that we do is in USD. You can pay in credit card. You do not have to know a single thing. You can ignore all that cryptocurrency stuff. Focus on the amazing technology that takes media, takes books. As John was mentioning, we have an entire banned book series that is the original version of these books, and they are on blockchain. They cannot be changed, and they are preserved forever because they are on blockchain. They are going to be in that same mint condition 200 years from now when you get it put together. So it's a really cool technology, and it's wonderful for you authors out there. It's a great way to protect your IP. So just ignore the crypto stuff.
It's hey, what is that, Jimmy? No, blockchain's used for a lot of things. It's just really good security is what it is. It's an upgraded. It's almost a quantum version of security, and it will be around probably another 50, maybe 100 years before something better replaces it. Well, it's not that something better won't come along sooner. It's not a matter that it took Bitcoin a decade and a half just to get to where anybody even used it. When I bought into it, I got lucky. A friend of mine who was investment banker in 2013. It's like, Joe, it's like $500 you got to buy something. I ain't buying anything. You need to buy some. And she just kept bugging me. And finally I did. And which I'm grateful for, because when I sold the first time, it was at 65,000.
Whoa.
So I was kind of like, yeah. No, Gene, all I did was go because I retired. So everything I made went into retirement. See, because John spends all my money. every time I talk about it, I need $100,000. I'm like, for what now, man? He's like, just
I found this cool new cowboy hat I wanted to get.
And then he's married.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
They are actually. Jimmy, he's not lying. Cowboy hat. Every time I go to one, I'll get a new one. I look at it, I was like, son of a what? I ain't spending this for no hat.
They like to triple in price. I grew up showing horses, and now when you go back to buy the same things,
God, I can imagine.
Whoa. You're like, oh, that is not the world I grew up in. It's like, oh.
I think the very first cowboy hat I ever bought was like $20. I could buy a hat today for less than $300. No, James, actually, some of these hats are more expensive than my boots. Oh no. Yeah, I'm talking about my boa constrictor boots are more expensive than them. I'm like, get out of here. It's all the way you want to look. Well, I bought a Duster a couple of years ago. That thing set me back $425.
Yep.
It's just a big, basic. It's a big coat jack. Yeah, it's a big coat. Yeah, dark brown, kind of rough looking. Yeah, they're nice. And then but where I live nowadays, I live on the Gulf Coast, so it's just really.
You don't need it. You don't need a Duster down there.
No, we don't really need one. Jimmy, we're always talking about books on here. Why? I'll give you Carmen's email, but if you're a serious author, you don't have to be award winning or anything. You just, need to be somebody who wants to work hard. Well, first thing I'm going to tell you is you should go try out for Writers of the Future. Go take the course and then submit 4 times a year till you win.
Yeah. We've published over 1,000 people now.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, just it's that easy. No, really, it's that easy. So it's writersofthefuture.com. Boom, there's a website. That easy. You go over there. There's a free course. John's wife and a few others help put together. It's really good. It got great videos. I've taken it like 3 times. I haven't seen the latest videos, but I've taken it like 3 times. I just never can write the book at the end. But for you, if you're really professional or somebody who really wants to learn, it's a great place to go and learn. And then as you submit, and I'll tell you something, this when I first met John and him, I didn't realize this really went on. It took about 4 seasons before I actually paid real attention to it. But if you're a regular and you're writing all the time, or an illustrator for that matter, you're sending in, they have a lot of different things, silver, honorable mention, and things like that, where you're getting advice, and not just advice, but encouragement to submit again. And a lot of those people, when I've talked to them, because I've interviewed everybody in the last 8 years they've had, 8 seasons they've had, plus some others, they'll all tell you the same thing. it helped them, it encouraged them, it made them. I can't tell you how many of them told me if I wouldn't have got that, I probably wouldn't have submitted again.
Yeah.
So all I can tell you, people, is it's a safe place to be. There's no hostility. There's no funky monkey business allowed on their websites. Go take the course and submit. Whether you're an illustrator, whether you don't know, no AI. No, I'm sorry, no AI. They don't do AI. As a matter of fact, most people who are doing contests are not going to do AI because it's something about awarding an award to an AI that just doesn't sit right with
as long as we try to do our due diligence on making sure there's no AI in the art being submitted or the story being. It's pretty easy right now with the stories to be able to tell them they're AI because they just read differently.
Yeah, they do. It's like it. I don't know. It just when you read the whole thing from an AI, somewhere along the line, something's just not going to make sense. It's like AI loses the thread and starts a new one. It's like, okay, I was going here. Oh shit, I ran out of information. Oh, let's go here. You're like, well, where are you? How did you get from here to here, man? What's going on here? It's like when, I was listening to Mission Earth. That happened to me. I was listening, and I quit listening for like 6 months, right at the point when they switched narrators. So when I came back and turned it on, there was a different narrator. I'm like, what the hell happened here? So I had to go back and listen to a book and a half back to make sure I didn't miss something.
The first 8.5 books is the confession of Sultan Greece, and then he's in prison, all that stuff, and now you've got 100 years later, and you got this other guy that's finding this conspiracy that there really was a planet called Earth, and there really was this place called and blah blah blah. So
yeah, it was. Yeah, now you don't get any warning they're going to switch on you either. It's just like,
yeah.
She's like, well, thank you for that anyway. But I like stuff like
pretty
that.
Pretty clever how he did that, yeah. So I'm just curious now, Sheila, how many books do you have in your library?
We have over 1,000. Growing every day. Happy. I know there's lots of authors on here. Happy to publish your books for you. We're completely non-exclusive. Please be with John. Please be with anybody else that we are just here to help out authors. So yeah, we've got about over 1,000. We've been in now. The reason it's only 1,000 is that's the special blockchain file type. That's the special blockchain. So it takes about a half a day to actually get that into that file type and up on the blockchain. So we actually usually have release days like once a week because there is some back end to it. We are streamlining it a lot. We have a creator portal that you can come and self-publish with us if you're interested just in self-publishing, or hit me up. I'll put my email in the comments here. Happy to help anybody that is interested in publishing. And like I said, like it does not, it's failed to post. Boo. I'm just Sheila at book.io. it's very easy. But yes, I mean, we do not stop. Please go and do stuff with John. Enter contests with Joe, right? Like we're just here to help you get some more money. And then we are opening a traditional print store because we actually got every print book in the world from Ingram. So they basically said, we don't want to be a storefront. And we're like, well, we're a tech company. We're happy to build your storefront.
Really? So you're doing that? Because I know I spoke to the director of, in fact, that's the podcast that just aired today, is the director of Ingram Spark, which is the program. So
yeah, so Ingram Spark's great. That helps a lot of authors too, of like how you can go and get your stuff into Ingram's libraries, into their entire catalog. And then
you said there's doing a storefront, and so that's you then.
That's us.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Breaking news. So yeah, and then we haven't withheld that from anybody's. That's been news for us for a while. We've just been doing other enterprise contracts, so we haven't actually released it, but it'll definitely be here in the next couple of months. 12 million print books, and then we're working with each publisher individually to get their ebooks and audiobooks put in there because they're all different licenses and all different catalogs. So sadly, there's not one source in the world that you can just go poof, but we will have 12 million normal print books. So even if you're like, I don't know, but this blockchain thing, you can still come and self-publish the normal way with us. So please contact us, Sheila at book.io. Happy to help every author out there. I mean, the same way Joe and John are here for you guys, right? Like, we just want you to be successful. We want you to keep writing. Like, you guys are our culture. So.
Yeah, we want you to get famous too.
Yeah.
Famous people. Famous. That way I can say I know more famous people.
Do you know Paige Allen? She's the director of Ingram Spark.
I've never met Paige. I've definitely emailed with her before, but I haven't met her in person. We do a lot of trips out to Ingram. They've actually invested in our pre-seed and our seed round. So John Ingram's a big believer in us, and we've done a lot of great projects with them, and we'll continue to do more. Like, we are still
good. Yeah, I was chatting with him last year at Frankfurt Book Fair in Frankfurt, Germany. Yeah. And he's the one that said, yes, definitely get Paige on, because I've been dancing around with Paige for a couple of years trying to get her on the podcast because she's so crazy busy. Mm-hmm. So I talked to your boss. He said it'd be great to have you on. She says, okay. Yeah. Well, that's great. It's amazing how small the world really becomes in the world of publishing. Just like all of a sudden you just say, oh, yeah, I got this going. Yeah. Just talk with Paige. You said, yeah, they've got this big bookstore they're setting up. And so that all of a sudden, bing,
bing, that's us. Yeah, it's always great when what you do is what somebody else doesn't have time to do. And you go,
yeah,
we'll do it. And they go, sure, here you go. Yeah. So it's because, as a tech company, warehousing and shipping and logistics and all of that is not our forte, right? Like, we don't need to bother ourselves with that. We've got brilliant engineers, and they need to keep using their brilliant minds to inventing things that help authors. We just launched another product called Galley Forecast. Again, if you are an author and you would like to help us beta test this, hit me up, Sheila at book.io. It basically predicts how readers are going to respond to your book through readings, through percentages of do not finish, right? Things that sometimes we don't like to talk about, of like, oh my gosh, there's a chance that people don't finish my book. And it says, go look at chapter 12 through 15. That's the highest percentage that somebody's going to not continue your book. Like, it just gives you marketing avenues. Start at this area, highlight chapter 12 if you're going to make a 30-second reel, so it's just really neat things. That is the step before you hire an editor, and the step before you hire a marketing company that's going to go get you 800 ARC readers, which is advanced reader copies. Somebody doesn't know what an ARC is. So all these advanced readers will literally read your book and give you a review for the pleasure of getting your book for free, basically. A lot of ARC readers are paid very, very highly. And a lot of them don't actually finish your book. So with the genius of our engineers, we have consumption data. So our next product we really want to launch along with this Galley Forecast is kind of an ARC reader that goes, actually, you can only leave a review if you've read 90% of the book or more. Like, how much would that change what people actually see?
No, they wouldn't like that.
It's like, oh.
I look, one thing I'm famous for is leaving reviews. Matter of fact, Google, Reddit, and one other company actually pay me for reviews now, including Walmart, actually. They pay me as well.
Yeah.
When I notice once you break about 4 or 5 million reviews, they tend to start giving you money for it. Or Google likes to send you free stuff like movie theaters and all kind of shit, but games. And last year they sent me a PlayStation. It's just they just get weird about it, but they want it because I leave thorough reviews. I will pick my stars, and then I will tell you why you got that rating, and I can be really nice and I can be really mean. And matter of fact, Shrimp Basket threatened to sue me, and I said, "Sure, feel free." I said, "I'll see you in court," but ain't nothing I said wasn't true. It's like, so well, they served me frozen crab as fried. And then I told them, so they brought it back, and they served it back to me again, frozen again. It's like, no. So let's just say it wasn't a nice review, but but when I read a book, so if I read a book, and let's say I make it halfway through it, I'm like, okay, well, this just isn't for me. I'll set it down. And the review I'll give it was, it was an okay book, but It just wasn't for me. If I read it 80% through in the book, you know what? I'm going to be nasty about it. It's going to be one of the reviews that you're going to probably go cry to your mom about afterward. I can't believe he was that mean. Because to me, that's a value, because my time is valuable. So if I'm going to sit there and read somebody's book 90% the way through, it better be worth the read. Or, well, let's just say, I'll be happy with the reviews. And I tend to draw, when I leave reviews, a lot more people tend to read them. So a lot more people go back and review the product themselves. It's one of the reasons Walmart likes me, because when I review I did a review of all their meat, and Walmart sent me this thing. Could you please cease and desist on, because I was talking about their ground meat, like it was, anyway, we won't get into that. And then finally they decided, okay, well, we'll step this up and we'll change this product line, and then we'll give you money to review the product line every time something new comes out. They're doing that, so they're hoping I won't be really nasty because I learned something. You can cost, a station like this can cost you money. We've cost AT&T and T-Mobile a lot of money over the years. It's John. He cost that little Western Steakhouse, probably put him out of business talking bad about him. They probably can't even get it. Sell us to poor Outback, probably can't get a steak sold anymore. People, look, I say read a book, enjoy the book. I generally know within 10 or 15 pages if I'm going to read something all the way through. Sometimes 20. But then John and them got me spoiled with this hook stuff now. So
I was gonna say, so much for like cliffhangers, Joe. You don't get all the way to the end.
No, them cliffhangers, look. And if it's gonna be a cliffhanger, it better be a damn good one. Because I'll be really hot. Even when I was a kid, I remember them damn cliffhangers. I was like, oh yeah, this better be good when I come back in 8 weeks from now. Well, oh people, y'all don't know. Y'all have it easy today. We got way more videos back then, but not near the quality you get today.
Right.
So I'm curious now, Sheila. So for people to do your Books IO, so I'm doing this show right now on my laptop. I've got my phone here, and I've got an iPad at home that I use for miscellaneous things too. So what's the best way to use it, or does it not matter?
So to purchase, do it on your desktop, because that's the fanciness of blockchain, is it does need you can go to the website on your phone. So it has to be done from a browser, is what I should say.
Okay, good.
So purchase from a browser, but we do have readers that are iOS and Android for any kind of phone, tablet, desktop. So you can read and listen on any device. But yes, purchase from a browser and just use that same email that you created the purchasing account with. I know that sounds silly, but that is 95% of our support questions is there's nothing in my library when I open up the application, and it's a lot of people will have auto sign in with like their Google accounts or their Apple accounts, right? And it's different than the account that they use to purchase with. So when you get it on your tablet or your phone, you're like, yeah, download, use whatever email's in there. It's like, make sure it's the same one that you purchased with on that browser. But yes, you can consume on any iOS or Android device, but purchase from any browser out there. And it's super easy. USD, credit card, again, you do not have to say, or even know how to spell cryptocurrency. It is completely all just easy peasy fiat and credit card. So.
Good. So I'm not going to go download an app. I go to a website to be able to access it. So that's what makes this different too. So
yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's the blockchain side of it. So make sure you go to a browser first, so it enacts that blockchain technology and gets everything going with the special file type. Then your library is established and you actually own that book, you own that audio book, and it's in your library forever. And that's when you can access it in any tablet app.
Now, if I get this thing and then I got my wife, I want her to be able to read it. And she has her own phone and she has her own email. So can she do it, or does she have to access the same?
She could access it through your email, or if you are blockchain savvy, you can actually send it to her, because it operates the same as a physical book. So you could send it to her with blockchain abilities.
But it's that one book that goes. It's not like I keep it in mind. She has. It's
So then
just a book.
Correct. You would have it in your library.
Down.
She would then have your. So if you got number 121, she would then have 121 in her library, and you wouldn't have anything. So that's the. It works like a physical DVD, a physical book, a physical CD.
Good. Now, in terms of the quality of the audio, because we're strict sticklers on high quality with our stuff, which Joe has experience with our audiobooks. But a lot of times when you, like on Audible, they go in MP3, and then it gets even one level worse than that when they upload it. So we have a lot of really cool special effects, which gets lost in the degradation of the file. But we prefer the WAV file at the same quality that you have on a CD. So is that the same thing you got now with Books.io?
It is. We only take WAV files. Battlefield Earth audiobook sounds amazing on our devices. So highly, highly, highly recommend it, because it is that high quality WAV file. It's lossless. It is all the top quality that is available that we can, and we will continue to improve that, as is any kind of improvements to, because we do music as well, right? So somebody could come and publish their entire album or singles with us. So we are very picky on very good quality audio.
That's good. So this is something, because Joe does he plays it twice a year, so he could even be playing the blockchain version of Battlefield Earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why not?
Because you do CD right now, right? That's how you play it, as a CD? Or do you use the thumb drive I gave you?
No, let's see. I've got it on something. I still got the thumb drive, but I got it on something else. The first year I got it, I don't remember where I picked it up from.
You ripped it?
Yeah, it's actually in the computer, and that's where it's at. It's something. I can't remember.
Because the WAV file is definitely the best, not the MP3.
Well, you know, something's weird about a WAV file is, and people don't know this. You can take a MP3 and type WAV behind it, and it'll work. And you can even take a WAV file and remove WAV, put MP3, and it'll work. So it's confusing because it should, but it doesn't. It's still even though it says MP3, it's still producing in a WAV. But for some reason, it allows it to work regardless, which is weird because we found it by accident. We were transferring some files, and it was getting to be a pain in the ass because the company would only take an MP3, and we had all waves. So I just, for shits and giggles, just typed it in and see, and sure enough, it took it, uploaded it, and played just like it was brand new. I was like, what the hell kind of backwards stuff?
Even if you switch it to WAV, it's still a smaller WAV file size. And if you take an MP3 and put WAV at the end of it, it's still that small.
Yeah, I mean, because they're when you're in a WAV or in an MP3, I mean, you're just audio, so it's nothing. It's not like when you're in an MP4 where ungodly amount of video involved. Because most videos today, even most crappy videos, are 1 gig. Anything good's 3, 4, 5, 6 gigs. Now, I mean, these shows, like this show, when we produce this show out of here tonight, will be 4 gigs. Now, what's funny about that is, if I take this same show and upload it to YouTube and then download it from YouTube, it'll only be 800 megs. Because YouTube does some kind of conversion. Yeah, they compress it down. Yeah. So we do that too because we use it on other stuff that it's easier. And now it doesn't matter because we're running a gig up and down. So a gig up is even with the 5 gig file, it's nothing. It's 8 seconds, man. If it's even that. All I know now is when I upload files, I don't even have time to put the titles in before it's finished uploading. And so in the old days, it was like 10 minutes, and, a file plus. So it'd be a couple of hours to upload it now. I can upload 2 days worth of stuff in a matter of 30 minutes. It's how fast I can type actually is what slows it down.
That makes the question. So Sheila, now on Books.io, so if I order the book like Battlefield Earth, I'm on there again. So how long does it take for when I buy it for it to actually be on my device?
A couple of minutes. So it's not instant like if you would, buy that license to stream, because that's literally what you're buying, right? Is a license to stream. So this is, you're actually getting all of that put together and put into your library. So yeah, it's for Battlefield Earth. Like I just did the audiobook to my library a couple days ago, and I got real picky because I tried to play it right away, and I was like, and I was like, wait, this is a giant book. Give it, and it was 3 minutes, and it was playing, right? So you just have to be a little more patient, and give the technology a little grace, because it is above and beyond anything else.
42-hour audiobook too, or 47-hour audiobook. So you can
exactly.
cut us some slack. Well, welcome, Owen.
Greetings. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can. Fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. How's your day going, John and Joe? Pleasure to meet you for the first time, as
Nice
well
to
as you,
meet you.
Sheila.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So Sheila's in just outside of Dallas, and you are?
I am near San Antonio and Laredo, Texas.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Used to live in Dallas, though.
Nice.
And Joe's just on this side of the ocean.
Yeah. Well, today I'm in
Pacific Coast.
Today I'm in Henderson Point, Mississippi.
Okay.
So half the time I'm in New Orleans, half the time I'm up here.
I got a buddy down there in New Orleans that it's a radio host. You might know him, David DeCorby of the Weekend Geek on WRNO.
No, I think I know the name, because it's probably, if it's on RNO, it's probably somebody I fight with on a regular basis.
He does imaging and other stuff.
Because I grew up with a lot of these people going to school. And I wasn't in radio back then; I was in construction. But it's
okay.
I grew up with a lot of them, so I used to call in a lot, and I got a reputation for being just not so sweet. So what happens is now, like some of the old DJs converted themselves into talk hosts now. And they used to just be DJs, so they have become political advocates now. And I'm like, really? You want to go there, right? And I'm like, let's have some fun. Right. So I'll call in. Well, a couple of them asked the producers not to let me through. And you got to be kidding me. He said, your ratings double when he's on air with you, man. What are you talking about?
That's a compliment, man.
I know. As soon as I log in, they're like, hey, Joe, how you been? I'm good. You want to go first? Make sure. Now, because there'll be a lot of people waiting to get in. It's usually like a 30, 35-minute wait if you want to talk to them.
Oh, wow.
They just drop me in and send me on. But they're not the only ones. Coast to Coast does the same thing when I call in. They're like, oh, the you-know-what call. Let's put him on. Because, because I don't usually call unless somebody said something or done something that
right.
Somebody needs to say something about it. So John did me. I used to not be like that till I met John. John's just a bad influence, man.
He's got that cowboy hat, man. I like that cowboy hat, man. Rocking that Texas.
We'll pick up Colin Cutsworth. He's just left about half hour ago from Denver. So I'll be heading out of here in about an hour to go pick him up. And he's speaking at an event tonight. This is the 90th anniversary this year of Hubbard as a Western writer. So he's the executive director of Western Writers of America. And he's doing a whole thing about the history of the Western and its importance as the only true really American genre. And then also Hubbard wrote 38 Westerns. A lot of people don't know. Mm-hmm. And so he's weaving it in because he read a couple different of the Westerns. And so he's talking about that. And then we've got live radio theater. Well, first of all, then we have a quartet singing a cowboy song. Mm-hmm. Then we're going right into a radio theater show of Reign of the Gila Monster, which is a humorous Western story that Hubbard wrote. We start up with a chuck wagon dinner at 6:00, and then we have at 7:30. Then we start the show, and then afterwards we go back upstairs out of our theater and go back upstairs and have some hot peach cobbler with vanilla ice cream, and then the party's over. So we'll be doing a series of events next month. I'm hoping to get the historian for the Arizona Rangers to come out and speak, because another one of his great stories is called The Toughest Ranger, which is about the Arizona Rangers that Hubbard wrote. So he wrote some really, really fun Westerns, great Westerns, which True West Magazine said, if you like Louis L'Amour Zane Grey, you're going to like Hubbard. So
that's great. That's coming up. I remember you told me about that event. I was actually talking about Bruce Boxleitner. I was talking to him about Westerns the other day. He's doing a lot. He did a lot, of course, The Gambler with Kenny Rogers.
He did with Martin Cove, the guy who did Karate Kid.
Yes.
They both the show we're doing next month, Toughest Ranger, he was on that one there, and he's also on another story. They love working together on our Western shows. We had some great fun when we produced these things earlier on.
Oh Lord,
That's
man! You
cool.
said Bruce's name. Now half of them sent me Babylon 5. I'm like,
Yeah.
Babylon 5. Cheers, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I was like, John, why are you talking about Babylon 5? That's not what
he
he's
was
talking
Tron
about.
as well. He was
Tron, huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
Tron 2, Tron.
And he reprised, he came back on the second Tron movie. He came
Was
back.
that Legacy, which was
Yeah.
Tron got a little weirder as it went each time. I just seen the last one.
Was Tron 3 was the Jared Leto version of he's not even Tron, it was another programmer, some Dillinger programmer.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was,
Owen knows all
weird.
things science fiction and fantasy. He's like, if you need to ask any question, you just ask him. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's blah 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 blah." That was in this year, this month. It came out originally in that theater, and then it switched to theater, and then it was supposed to be 2 hours and 16 minutes, but they actually cut it, so it came out to only 2 hours and 13 minutes. There's Owen for you.
Pretty much. Same year as Blade Runner came out too in '82, I believe, with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Blade Runner was interesting. It caught me off guard the first time I seen it. That's good.
And Wrath of Khan, Star Trek too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Just won yesterday. Greatest movie in history. Yeah. I was like, really? Don't get me wrong. Now I'm a big fan of. But still, I don't know. It's the greatest movie in history. I mean,
well, they're doing another one. It takes place as television series in 2099, which is 50 years after the Ryan Gosling film. I think Amazon or somebody, Amazon Prime Video is doing that one, and the other one's a Neuromancer by William Gibson's. They're doing a series on that, so I'm really curious to see what they're doing with the cyberpunk genre on that.
Might be interesting. I don't know. It's hard to get good sci-fi these days. I know that.
Yeah. Cyberpunk's interesting. It's a whole nother like sub-quadrant. It's steampunk. There's even one called diesel punk, afro punk, steampunk, and cyberpunk, and something else.
My son turned me on to one of them with Cowboy Bebop, I think it was.
Yeah, that's kind of a cyberpunk sci-fi futuristic. Yeah,
I was like, what are you watching, boy? He's like, Dad. I said, what's a cartoon where you watch? He said, well, come sit down and watch it. So I said,
it's a cool one. Yeah.
It is. It's cool. I was surprised it was a cartoon. I was like, okay, we'll watch it.
One of their space shuttle crafts is actually a fishing boat or whatever that they fly around in they can land on water, which I thought was a pretty cool concept for a sci-fi.
They got, and I don't know. So the last thing I think came out of Netflix that I liked was Altered Carbon.
With the first season with Joel Kinnaman. Well, they're both good.
Well,
the first season
they're both good, yeah. Well, you mean the second season we had, what was it, Captain America?
Anthony Mackie, yeah.
No, James, wrong Captain America, no. The new Captain America, yeah.
The new Falcon as Captain America.
Anyway, the new Captain America, yeah. But anyway, he was in season 2. But no, it was just a lot of drugs, a lot of sex, a lot of nudity, a lot of gore.
What was the first season?
I'll never be a fan of that one.
It's a great series.
Oh, it's a great series.
Kind of a detective noir of sorts.
You just got to kind of close your eyes part of the show.
There's so much good stuff to find out there. I'm reading a book. I've just finished up a book a couple weeks ago, which was called Level 5. And
Level 5.
And it's about generative AI to the next level 5, where it actually is able to get itself out of the computer core and actually be able to start expanding itself. And what it does is it destroys a third of the world with what it's doing there. And so level 6 and level 7 are the next 2 books. I'm interviewing him.
How does it? Is it like robots, like Terminator? How does it like?
No, it's like taking over all because it's super AI. It can hack into other computers. It can take over stuff,
military systems, all
that kind of stuff. Yeah, and so it's pretty crazy. So I'm gonna be interviewing him next week on the podcast. But then after doing that, I was like, oh man, I need a break, because I still have to read like a book a week. So I'm reading one right now. It's a Western romance.
Okay.
Totally a different direction. These 2 girls came up to me. They're best-selling authors, and when I go to writing conferences, I do these 15-minute consultations on what to do for your to get going again. or to take your next level up. So they came in and they were like these two totally vivacious ladies. They're so excited about their book. And like I said, they were the best-selling authors, but they did this one together. I said, I couldn't say no because they were just so like full of energy. I said, okay. This was at in Provo, Utah, at Life, the Universe, and Everything conference. And so said, okay, I'm not that much into romance because I don't like what you were just talking about in Altered Carbon there. I'm not into that stuff as a
There's some romance in there a little bit.
Yeah, some romance in it. It's actually a decent romance. There's just a lot of, sex in there.
Yeah,
not so much sex, just a lot of nudities, really. It would be a better way to say.
Cyberpunk signs and advertising.
Yeah, I love those signs.
That's not my cup of tea. But anyway, so I was been reading it. It's like, wow, this is fun because there's obviously romance, but there's no sex, and it's just a real fun thing. What's romance? So it's a big change of pace from that. And then I'm in the middle of another one, which is a medical thriller where the author, she's a past winner, but she's also a doctor. So I'm constantly looking up words. She's got so much medical terminology and stuff in there. But I'm always reading
techno jargon, like the jargon or whatever.
Yeah, of an emergency room doctor, all these different things that they do and different things that are happening. But anyway, so we've got Sheila here. You haven't met her, but she's really big. She's a super techie. You're a science fiction geek. She's a super techie geek. And so she's
meet you, Joe.
So she's got this
you geek you.
Yes. So she's got this thing called Books.io, which is blockchain books.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. How does that work exactly, like with the blockchain?
We actually create a new file type, so decentralized encrypted asset, and minted on. We have 6 different blockchains, so you get to pick which one you want to be on if you care. And then it works simply like going to a bookstore for customers.
So
right?
you go in there and use that. It's like a kind of like a crypto digitized file that is it like non-fungible, or is it just own file and like mainstream?
We do non-fungible and fungible. So it just depends on how you want your mint to go. So if you want them to all be unique, we could do completely different covers for every single one, have them numbered, right? Like obviously going to be a non-fungible situation. If you want almost a reader's edition is kind of what we call it, that we would, stick it up there for $2.99 and make it a fungible. That's one cover, and every one of them is the same, right? They're not going to be.
Y'all do like graphic novels, or is it solely novels, or a little bit of both? Or
we do graphic novels. We do music. We do film, audiobooks. Yeah. So we've got every type of file, including if the really boring stuff of if you want to bring your company's IP and protect it on the blockchain, right? We can chop it up and completely decentralize and encrypt each one of those files and make it completely piracy protected.
That sounds very interesting and very futuristic at that. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's very futuristic, and it's awesome for creators. We've had people use it in so many different ways. Sometimes they just want to be creative and they wanted 170 different covers for their book, right?
Do y'all do like anything with games or gaming, board games, video games, and stuff like that?
Right. We haven't done gaming yet because we just haven't developed the technology to do the gaming side of it.
It's a little bit different type of motif there.
Yeah, it is, right? So, but as far as consumable media, that we are,
it's a lot of it too. Right. Movies and television.
Yep. And it's, on the blockchain, it's not going to change. It's not going to be able to be taken away. If somebody goes, I made a mistake, it's like, okay, we have to mint like a whole new thing. You can never
new thing in there.
That policy ID exists. Like,
what do you see like that with like streaming and Amazon and Netflix and all that? Do you think there would be I guess there is a market for that since you're doing it. So
yeah, we actually have a movie right now that didn't get picked up. He tried to go and sell it to streaming. He tried to go and everybody was just like, we want to give you way too much, like way less than he actually, spent making the movie. So he's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to recoup this? So he came to us and is doing it as a buy your movie and legit buy it for life, right? This isn't
cool.
Amazon Prime that you buy it and then that license goes away because they're not, their 3-year deal with that movie went away. Also, that's a fun thing too with books.
Like the cover page, is there like a graphic sheet, like how like on Amazon they'll feature the top shows on the slots? Is there something like that where they can recommend or trending? I guess there's trends on there as well. It's like the streaming, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really
interesting. That's cool.
We can switch all of that around. We've got one that is using it in a very different way because we can do promo codes, right? So once it's on the blockchain and, there's 2,000 copies out there, I can go in there and say, give me 200 codes out of these 2,000. And then those 200 codes can be made into gift cards. Right.
Like digitized gift cards. Right.
You can digitize gift cards, actual physical gift cards. If you want to sit there and scratch them off and go, okay, I need to type in this code. Poof. That's cool. There's my movie. So he's doing it with a kidney donor movie, and getting it into actual kidney affiliates and where people are saying, hey, we'll buy 2,000 of these to give to patients because it gives so much great information. And $40 for your movie is way cheaper than it would cost for us to go out and create our own stuff that nobody's actually going to watch. This is actually a great documentary that's entertaining as opposed to like a medical movie. And so he's able to give away those codes and have that as like an affiliate. So there's
have y'all experimented? I just thought of this just out the top of my head. Did y'all experiment with like coupling that possibly with any philanthropic endeavors to partner with different initiatives? That'd be kind of something cool, just a thought.
Absolutely. That's kind of, especially if you want to get paid in the crypto that you put your blockchain on. You don't have to, right? But just in that smart contract, so it's out there and obvious to the world where people go, did my money actually go to the Red Cross, right? Smart contract is public to the world. So you can put, 5% of this goes to Red Cross, bam, right? And then we don't even touch it. So a lot of people have done that. We've done a lot of philanthropic stuff where some of it was about carbon, kind of equaling out the carbon credits stuff every time you bought it. There's been a lot of charities across, because blockchain is really knowledge spreading and culture spreading without borders, right? So it's that beauty of not needing a country's border patrol or gatekeepers to say, can this book be in my country?
It's global. It's a global, non-borderless, and no borders included or anything.
Right. I mean, we sell the Bible in China, so it's borderless, right? So there's no saying no, this can't be in our country, no, this can't. So me as the bleeding heart philanthropic person, I was like, this is how we spread culture. This is how we share knowledge, right? This is not something that needs to be politicized. This is how we actually keep the human creativity and human knowledge spreading across the world, right? So that part we've used a lot for philanthropic stuff. So getting it into kids' hands, getting it into different charities' hands across the world that wouldn't be able to get those books otherwise.
Well, that's cool. Is that a Danish T-shirt you're wearing there, Sheila?
It's a Norway shirt.
Norway shirt. I saw that. No, that's
yes. What?
She's like behind her. She's got a picture of Holland sitting there.
You should see this shirt. It's every alien on every single movie ever, from E.T. to it's even got the cone heads on it, and Mac and Me and Alf.
Yeah, I've been to Ancient Aliens a few times.
This is like all the aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool series with Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Yeah,
Giorgio. He's a cool guy.
We go way back. I met Giorgio.
Was he at Contact in the Desert a few weeks ago?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't go. Giorgio was interesting. I met him a long time ago, and then I met him again. He put on the 2012 End of the World Party Worlds.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So it was a very weird thing he did, and he had some great pictures. He got ripped. It was a good thing I liked the guy. But over the years, we've interviewed him several times over the years. He's always fun. And then a couple of years back, I run the actually run the largest UFO alien organization. It's awesome. They invited me on a couple of times to just research that we've done for different groups and different things we've introduced into science. We like a lot of science, like a bachelor's in science. We geek out a lot on science, but I mean, a lot can be explained with science, and some stuff can't. And I spent first time I testified, I spent 3 days, and the second time 2.5 days. First day was 12 hours, and it was 10 hours and 8 hours. And they had to do it in skiff because of classifications. But then I had a lot of stuff when I was in the service. I did a lot of things when I was in the Navy. But the whole point to me was that when I got out of the Navy, I was like, UFOs are bullshit. It's ours. It's
now they've got all these naval guys coming out about them, talking about them.
Because I never met a pilot. I never met a pilot or an astronaut, by the way, hadn't seen a UFO, not one. And I was a shooter on the USS Nimitz for a while, the guy who launches the jets. So I knew every pilot on the jet, and plus I worked with them on many other planes and boats. And then when I was in the Special Forces, I met a lot of other ones. And every one of them would tell you about some weird shit they seen flying around, something flying around their planes, something doing things stuff that drones could do today, but nothing could do back in the day. Nobody had that kind of technology. And drones can't break the speeds they did. But when I started interviewing astronauts, and they were giving me these stories about their first orbit. So I started with the Apollo, with the Mercury Gemini astronauts. Then I got into the Apollo. Then I got into the Apollo astronauts. Then I met a bunch. Jeff Chandler, who's a shuttle astronaut, introduced me to a bunch of. He introduced me to a bunch of them. None of them, everyone you talk to says, He said the guy was even talking about a video. He said, you can hear me on the background as this thing's going by, but you notice it's muffled. He said NASA muffled it because he said it wasn't what I was describing. It was the language I was using to describe it. He's like, what the bleep? Nothing changes directions in space like that. What the bleep?
There's stuff out there, man. I tell you what, there's got to be something out there.
The best one, though, is that Russian. He said he's sitting there on the shuttle. I mean, not on the shuttle, on the space station. Just recent.
It's ISS or whatever.
Yeah, this is recent. Just like within the last year. He's sitting up there, and they're doing some kind of work outside, and he's watching him and the American ladies watching him. And this thing just came right up to the window, like, sat there.
Was it a ship or a life form? What was it?
He said he couldn't really. He wasn't willing to say. He said because even though the size wasn't huge, he said it appeared to be alive. He said, but I have to use the word appeared. So he said, I don't know if this was some kind of, because recently they just found stuff alive on the outside of the space station.
Right.
They found plankton,
like microbes or something.
Yeah, microbes and some type of plankton. Stuff being brought up from our planet that now lives in space, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't supposed to live in space. Just so y'all know that. But,
you see that movie Life or Life Form or whatever it was? Yeah.
But I was lucky this year. John had one of the astronauts from one of the SpaceX missions. As speaker this year, and I wasn't with the table. So her and I, I had a bachelor of science. The other guy had 2 PhDs in science.
Harry Quill. He's a double PhD. He got 2 PhDs within 1 week. He's going to be at. Are you going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, Owen?
Yes, I'll be there. Get there early Wednesday, and I won't be leaving till Monday. So I'll be there the whole thing.
I'm going to info you then on it because I'm trying to set up a dinner on Friday night after a panel that's happening there with Harry Clores' name. He's a double PhD in science, hard science, and
well, we just geeked out is what we did.
Yeah.
And if you were non-geek and you walked up to the table, you'd have been like, "What the language are these idiots speaking?" It's
alien language.
Oh, well, you could tell in her case, it was just nice that she sat down and started talking to us. And everybody knew what the hell she was talking about. She was like, wow.
Yeah, she's the first one that actually did orbit around the poles. Yes. It's always been around the circumference, but she's around the poles. And it was interesting because she's a videographer, and that was her training. And it established that it was easier to train.
National Geographic or something like that, right?
Yeah, she's in lots of, including that. It's easier to train her to be an astronaut than it was to train an astronaut to be a videographer.
And they gave a command of the mission, which was cool. Yeah, they gave a command. Where was she from? Norway, Sweden, Norway, huh?
Norway, yeah.
Yeah, first Norwegian female astronaut ever.
Northernmost city on the planet where she lives, and she's a total hero in Norway.
And I think she was the first female commander for a SpaceX mission too.
Yeah. We actually recently had Colonel Eileen Collins was on our show, so she was the first shuttle commander, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who?
Colonel Eileen Collins. We had her on the show a few months back, and she has a documentary. She was the first shuttle commander. So you got the shuttle and you got this privatized SpaceX, two different things.
Yeah.
So it's weird because now we've got SpaceX astronauts, but we also have NASA astronauts using SpaceX equipment. And of course, we've got Boeing equipment now being used by NASA, which it just gets good. And it was just, Elon, close your ears here, Sheila, when I say this, but Elon must have had an orgasm when they called him to go save the Boeing astronauts. I mean, he must have been going, "You got to be kidding me, right? You just did not hand me this." I
saw this funny video these guys did on YouTube where it's like these guys, it's a station called Planetopia. It's these little alien guys. They're people that do the voices, but they're alien animations. And they're actually talking, laughing about this, saying, what is their ship like Fisher Price? They have to go get rescued. And it's hilarious. Those guys' channel's priceless. But they talk about that particular incident where they had to go rescue Boeing up there in space.
We were, matter of fact, we've been doing some of that. The Baby News Network stuff. Whoever makes that stuff.
What is that?
You haven't seen Baby News Network? Oh my God, dude. So he makes a baby Trump, a baby Melania, a baby Joe Biden.
I've seen it where they'll do like the Goonies or the characters.
He had him talking with the Ayatollah, and then he took over as the Ayatollah Trump, the baby. Demands it. Whoever does this is insane. Some of them are much better than others, but there are a lot of really good ones.
Yeah, I've seen him do like movie characters. I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's called the Baby News Network. That's what it's called.
Baby News Network.
And it's mostly about Trump. And in the beginning, you could use this stuff for anything. Now he's starting to get some following, and so he's got a little bit more dicky about, excuse my language, but he's got some really good stuff. We use it on the shows. He don't give us any trouble about it. We use it on the shows.
It's just like kind of fictional if it's not like it's not.
Yeah, so like one of my favorites is him and Kennedy, Trump and Kennedy. Yeah, him, not that Kennedy, the one from Louisiana.
Right.
They get together and they talk Joe Biden into flying over to Iran and blowing up Iran.
So this is like fiction. It's like a fictional thing. Right?
Oh yeah, it's kind of a satire in a way for some. Some of it's satire, not all of it, but some of it. It's just retarded. That's what it is. And one of my favorite ones, which every time we play it gets 1 million plays, is they did "We Are the World" with the world leaders.
Oh wow, like the one with Michael Jackson, Kenny Rogers, and all that.
Yeah, so they took all them out and put Trump and Putin and Xi Jinping, all of them in there. Even the nasty world leaders are in this thing. I'm like, well, and it's good.
That's clever. That's clever. That's clever format.
AI allows you to do things that you just couldn't do before. But,
my favorite ones are the ones where they have like Doc Brown and Marty McFly time travel on all these different eras, like the Woodstock and cool. The Roman Colosseum, and they'll go into like all these different eras. Like they make friends with a caveman, and Marty's like saying goodbye to him and hugging Lincoln after the Civil War. There's one. It's insane.
Well, that's like last
night.
It's a
whole other level of stuff.
Yeah, half our news show last night was probably clips. It was we did the Baby News Network. They got the Star Trek stuff out there. They got the Star Trek disco. You got to watch Star Trek.
I saw that. That's awesome.
There's a lot of weed smoking going on in that one for some reason.
With the one like Picard's like dancing and doing the dreams, and you got like Worf and all.
They're all in there. So the 7 and 9s, deck to the 9s. It's insane. They even got some of Discovery people. They don't put much of them in there, but they put them in there.
I like the one when Riker's in there. He looks he just looks like he fits in the 70s disco.
He does. He's like, disco man. He could have been John Travolta, man. But a lot of this stuff is really funny. We use it for a lot of different things. Plus, we've been doing the clips of FIFA. All the people
the World Cup.
How great the World Cup is. We've had some live people on. We've done a lot.
Some of that's actually in Dallas this year. Where you're at, Sheila.
Some of it.
Yeah, we've had 9 games. Yeah.
We've had, I think.
Did you attend any of them, Sheila?
I did. I went to the Norway Ivory Coast one.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
wow.
So you could roll across Texas? Is that what you was
did.
doing?
We did. Yeah.
They're rolling their way across the country,
Whoa.
man. It's crazy watching that. I was watching them on an escalator the other day, rolling on an escalator. I was like, "Y'all nuts, aren't you?" They fit right in with Americans, I got to say.
Oh, they love them.
Yeah, it's the World Cup people. I can't speak for all the Europeans, but everybody who's been to the Cup, it fits right in here.
Yeah.
And most of them are
That thing
talking
is
about.
amazing too. Is just the general reaction. Pretty much whenever you go anywhere, is the media is such a bad hat. They're the ones that are painting all this divergence of like, like hate.
Yeah.
They got this idea, and so if you take a look who owns the media, that they're the ones that stand to gain from keeping opposition happening here, so that when they come here to America, they're like, wow, it's beautiful. There's nothing like I see on TV.
Yeah, they got the European media back now.
Go to
Because there's like 90 revisions by a CIA operative, like Anderson Cooper or somebody.
Right. Yeah, I saw a great
I guess.
Yeah, that they said like if you want to hate Americans, watch the news, and if you want to love Americans, drive across America.
That's right.
I was like, yeah,
I drive across it regularly.
yeah. It was like just a whole bunch of Europeans that had come over for the World Cup and were going to a whole bunch of games. And they're like, the greatest,
Which is super cool.
across.
Yeah, it's just amazing what the media does. So, but you take a look at like the Soroses of the world, and their whole thing there is to spread discontent and try to,
Yes.
I mean, you've got
But
these.
Americans are weird. We get tired of things and we change. We change quickly. So we were doing poll numbers because I own an American polling company, but we were doing polling numbers pre 250, and everybody kept saying, "Oh, everybody hates America. Everybody's down on America." I'm like, man. But I live in the South, so it's rare you see anybody down in America in the South. I mean, everybody down here is pretty much gone over. So I'm like, I'm not seeing this. I do a lot of traveling. Last year I was 50.
I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, which is about 2 hours from where you're at right now.
Well, actually, from where I'm at right now, you're about an hour and 22 minutes. And Mobile is one of my favorite places. But actually, where we go a lot is we go to Dolphin Island a lot, but we go to Fairhope.
Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Fairhope.
Yeah, we go to Fairhope. Fairhope is Fairhope. I don't know how to describe Fairhope. Fairhope is like it's out of time. It's an artiste community. Everybody's there. It's very polite. The food's good. People are nice. But
It's kind of like the Beverly Hills of Alabama. Is what
it is. It's one of the safest places on the planet.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm leaving in about 5-10 minutes. So what's the punchline to 250?
So wait. So anyway. So we do all these polls. Everybody's like, oh, it's 30%. So here comes 250 night, 4th of July. Everywhere you look, it's just packed. Even in D.C., where the media tried to celebrate everything they could, even I watched them as they left when the rain started. I watched them as they piled back in to listen to the president. And they were talking about how long he spoke. He only spoke for 40 minutes. For Trump, that's like nothing. that's like a hiccup. That's nothing. I'm thinking, man, he didn't even talk that long. But the show was great. The people were great. It was packed full of people everywhere you looked around the country. Even New York, even with Crazy Mandami up there, they did a great show. The boat parade was nice. And the people were. It didn't matter what city you went to. It was packed. And the best part was you had all these people who stayed over from the World Cup to celebrate.
Yeah.
And they've never celebrated anything like this. They did. I'm listening to these people talk. They're stunned. They First off, patriotism in Europe must be something that really doesn't exist. Because when you listen to these people talk, they're like, they just can't get over how much pride we have in our country. And now that they're here and they're seeing it for themselves and not listening to the media version of it, they realize that, America's a much different place than what they've been told. But I noticed the media is over there. Back.
All I saw on the mainstream was they showed pictures of the DC celebration, the fireworks display. They just showed how it was all the smoke, saying he couldn't even see this stuff because there's so much smoke. It was like they're trying to zero in on just.
I watched the whole thing. You can see everything. Now I'll tell you what, though, I feel for you if you were down there about 45 minutes after the show was over. There was a cloud. I mean, there was a cloud covering like half the city. But I mean, it was 850,000 fireworks. And then one guy goes, well, he didn't break the record. I said, no, that's not true. He broke the record for the amount of fireworks shot. But the person who owns the record for the longest is Dubai. 1 hour
that makes
2
sense.
minutes. Yeah, they hold the record at 1 hour 2 minutes. So Trump's got the record for the most fireworks shot on any given show. But Dubai,
that's probably the Dubai New Year's or something like that.
Yeah, probably so. And I got a friend of mine owns condos, and he calls me that day. He goes, "Oh, you're rich. I'm gonna fly you to Dubai. You can come condos." I said, "I can't afford to buy a condo."
Right.
I said, "I'd have to sell my friend John off. Sell him and all his friends.
Should all go to Dubai. It's like a futuristic looking city.
So he goes, no, just come. So what they do is they fly you. It's all expenses paid. Fly first class, wine and dine you the whole time you're there. And then they don't want to sell you just one. They want to sell you like 5 at a time.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
So I'm like, then how much is this going to cost? He's like, well, depending on anywhere from $1 million on it. He said, just depends on where you want it. He said, but he said Dubai finances Americans, even with bad credit. I'm like,
we always have to go play golf with them when we need some money. That's true.
So he says they just like to finance you. I'm like,
they're real money. The Earth's real money. Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, well, I love you, but I ain't coming to Dubai. It's not gonna happen, my friend. He goes, because a good friend of mine just came back. He was so freaked out because you can Vegas has them too now, where you can get your Bitcoin out of the machine. Well, Dubai, you can actually get little ingots of gold.
You can get gold coins and gold cell phones too.
Yes, it's insane. Well, no, and then Jim, they do have one. I got this little thing where you can go get diamonds. Dubai is a different level of a city.
It's another universe, right?
I don't know how to explain. Dubai is like when you read about something in Star Trek, some weird city out in the future. That's what they're talking about.
When I landed at the airport in Dubai, I thought, oh my God, just in the airport itself, I thought
it's a beautiful city.
It's a beautiful city, just the airport, just it's huge. And just they have the diamond stores, the gold stores, all kinds of stuff. It's just like, exudes money. You walk out there and it's like, holy.
I know during the pandemic, they were hiring influencers to go out to use Dubai as a backdrop for their live streams and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like, man, that would have been awesome. Cool.
Anyway, so I'm gonna have to leave in about 5-10 minutes. So it's just getting back onto my favorite subject, books, is this is the author's Quill, and so
it's pretty sure it's going to be the author's pad. As we're going to change the name of this show. Digital audio. I'm sorry, John.
So Sheila's here. She's because our relationship started when she was launching Books.io, and then we were part of that one of your first, I guess, sort of the beginning of what you're doing with Battlefield Earth, and then Owen, I've talked to you about Battlefield Earth as well when I've been on your show. Yes. We're talking about just that book, what it did, because it sold almost 5 million copies.
It's a lot.
So it's done really, really well, and it's just been it's amazing just what good story. That's what I say. I like good storytelling. I don't need to have the super.
The production of the audiobook's insane with the effects.
Yes, and that's what was really nice thing about Books.io. It maintains that high quality production level.
I'll tell you what, I was already hooked on audiobooks when John.
I love audiobooks. I mean, Star Wars, whatever it is.
Yeah, I got hooked on them fairly young, but when John gave me Mission Earth to listen to, and it kind of put me over the top. It's just I mean, it's 10 books to start off with, but I mean, the first book's a little on the slow side because it's character building. But after that, it's a nice, steady, consistent story with a lot of satire, a lot of laughing, a lot of science, a lot of everything I like, And I'm a big freak for near now science. It's one of the reasons I think I liked Altered Carbon and Expanse.
Series great. Expanse, another going in.
But it just the lack of sci-fi today bothers me. It just doesn't seem to be these. Every now and then I'll see a good movie come out, and then Star Trek. Don't even get me started on Star Trek. I can't even go there. I'll have a stroke. But
you mean like modern Trek, right? Not OG Trek, Captain Kirk. Like,
I don't. So Discovery was weird, and I used to tell this to people all the time about Discovery. I said, "Look, Discovery is cool. It's if you want to watch it as sci-fi, it's fun to watch. If you're gonna watch it as Star Trek, you're gonna be miserable the whole time you're watching it."
More of like a hard science fiction or something like that.
Yeah, it was, and then I don't know what Academy was. I'm not even.
I never saw it. I haven't watched
it's trailer. I tried to, so I watched all 8 episodes, and I was thinking, okay, this is just a DEI show. wants to just be honest about it, and that's all it really is. So I said, well,
you know why that is, right? Because like the screenwriter wasn't even a Star Trek fan, supposedly.
Oh, I know. He hated
Alex Kurtzman boxed him in them, told him to make whatever he wanted out of that series. So there was no original Trek, motif.
And thank God we got lucky because of in a two episode Discovery we got Pike back.
Yes. Pike was great. Strange New Worlds is a great series. I like that series a lot.
Season 4 comes out in 11 days. And John, it's only got 2 seasons.
They're doing a big Hall H panel down there on that, I believe, at San Diego coming up at the time. I think it's Saturday or something like that. I'm pretty excited. Also, I don't know if you know this, they're going to be debuting the 33-inch screen use model of the Enterprise at the Paramount Lodge and a big glass display case, which is the miniature next to the 6-foot that's in the Smithsonian.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's a historical artifact, literally.
Yeah, maybe I get Ciel to go down there and do a reporter for me. We don't. Actually, all the people we used to have in LA all live in Las Vegas now.
Vegas is awesome. We're having a big Trek event out there too. Yeah.
They all. The last one was another good friend of mine, and a couple of my hosts live out there. I'm like, wait. I said, what am I? I've been to Vegas a lot of times. Vegas is nice and all, but I'm like, you live there.
Yeah, I was gonna live there at one point. An old associate was doing something with the dude had Zaxby's shoes. I'm like, we go live in Vegas. I'm like, I talked to my father. He said, well, if you want to live in Vegas, you really want to live in Vegas? It's all gambling. I said, it's not just gambling. No, I never moved there. We talked about Chicago too, that's all another cold. I don't want to live anywhere it's super cold.
Chicago's a hard city to live in if you're not a local. You're from Alabama, so one thing about Alabama is if you go to like a lot of Alabama, which don't get me wrong, there are some really beautiful cities now. And the Gulf Coast is beautiful. The mountains in the north are beautiful. But Alabamians really don't want you asses in their state. They would rather you come. They don't. So if you look at any other state on the Gulf Coast, they're big time advertising the Gulf Coast.
Right, Florida, Miami.
They're all. Oh no, not Alabama. They're like, please don't come to our coast.
They've got like ready-made militias down there and stuff, man.
They've got a sign in Orange Beach that says Florida Bama, only 5 miles up the road.
I've been to Florida Bama. That's right down the street from my family's beach house. Yes.
It's because Perdido Key's right down there for Florida. They're like, why don't you go to Florida? Get out of our state. They like 15
Alabama
considered that
Florida.
They consider it to be the best kept secret in the country, and something Alabama has that nobody else has. Their people, according to the security industry, are the most trusted people in the United States. It's somewhere where the top companies keep their biggest secrets at. I was like, what? Don't get me wrong. I knew there was a lot of Northrop.
Well, you got Huntsville, Alabama, NASA, aerospace technology, Boeing, Lockheed, Airbus.
They said they are the best at keeping secrets of anybody in our country. He said it's almost impossible to get one to convert by I'll give you some money for some tech. They're like, right. We believe in our country. Now, unfortunately, where John lives is the worst. California ranks last. California will give a secret away for a cup of coffee. So
wow,
that's just kind of bad out there. I was like, damn. And the guy was serious when he said it. The people with the research organization who did it, they were like, yeah, pretty much a good cappuccino, and they'll give you a secret. I'm like, okay, it's just funny.
So anyway, getting back, because I'm going to be signing off in just a few minutes here. So I'm going to make sure that this one here, which we're not talked about, is also.
Oh, yes.
This is where Owen went this year, as well as you, Joe. And I don't know if you travel very much to Los Angeles, Sheila, but next year we have our Volume 43 have an awards event. And
cool.
It's really good. I highly recommend you check that out, Sheila. It's a very fun event.
Yeah, we've got
here all the time.
Yeah, and we have Rob Pryor is doing the cover for next year's volume, and he's a wild man. He paints with 2 hands, eyes closed, and he's just
that's awesome.
And he's working because he says, we met a few weeks ago. And he says, look, I'm going to make this total blow away this whole event. So he's making other designs for different sculptures and stuff like that during the event, and then he's trying to get, because he does on stage painting during rock star performances, so he's trying to get either some of the guys from Imagine Dragons or some of the guys to come and sing. I said, we can't afford that, and he said, I'll work out a swap, because he had his paintings assessed recently, so he's pulling between $2 and $2.5 million per painting right now.
That's
on
good.
his paintings.
Wow.
So I'll do a painting for them, and they can perform. So he's working out different, groups that they'll play a couple.
That's a great music band too. I think that'd be a good fit. And the arts, I can't wait to see the art. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We had the rough draft out, and he's working the final tweaks to it. But he's all excited about doing that thing. And I think this month he's going back to the Vatican because he's been commissioned to do paintings for the Pope. And Trump tried to hire him to paint him, but he declined on that because he knew that as soon as he did that, he'd immediately alienate 50% of an audience. Yeah. He said the money was really good, but I couldn't, do that because it's so divisive right now that I couldn't do that. But he's an amazing artist, and he was one of the last people that trained under Frank Frazetta.
Yeah, that's great. That's a legendary artist right there.
Yeah, and so he's amazing. He does stuff like for the NFL and where when they had their draws, he'll paint. I've
seen some of that. It's really good.
Of these guys, and they auction them off for the NFL charity. He does it for the baseball league.
A lot of those sports bars have big charities. I know Ray Lewis had charities. A lot of them are doing charity work.
Yeah, so he paints for them, and then they auction the stuff off. And he's also in training. He's supposed to be this year going into space on NASA to commission to paint 32 paintings of Earth and space while weightless. And,
so he's like the real next gen Robert McCall, but literally going to space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's amazing. All set to take the cover of Mission Earth with him because he painted that. He's got all kinds of stuff he wants to do. He's such a fan of Hubbard as an author, and just the legacy of Writers and Illustrators of the Future. He just absolutely is over the moon about, because there's nothing else is like that. You can't. It's free to enter, and since it's blind judge. Last year we had winners from 8 countries. We've already got winners from several countries coming in, European, and we've got, so there'll be another probably 8 to 10 countries this year with winners that we fly in. We have no idea who the winners are until the judges say number 655 and 1,230. Once the numbers come in, then we find out what names they are. So we know what country, nationality, ethnic, and all that stuff after they've done the judging, because all the judges see is the art or a story and a number. So that works out really good.
Yeah, I like the blind judging.
Yeah. So hopefully you're going to make it again next year, Owen, because it's going to be.
Yeah, I'll be down there, man. I should be there. It's a blast.
All right, people. Blast. If y'all got anything y'all going to give away this year, you got to send it, because I'm fixing to give this whole section to be gone in about 2 weeks.
Good.
So, it's all going to be, every so often I clear them all out. So whatever I'm keeping goes on the shelf over there with the autograph stuff and everything else, except for the classic encyclopedias in the back.
We got an alien skull back there, I see, from Roswell or something. That's awesome. Let's notice that.
That is a replica of the one Lloyd Pye had. I met him in a long time ago. He took me out for Thai food.
I need to ring off now. I need to head out to the airport to pick up my speaker. So nice to see you.
John, be safe. I'll text you later on with the numbers from both shows.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joe. And nice seeing you again, Owen. And then I'll send you an email so we can connect up also in San Diego next week or 2 weeks, I guess it is. And then if you guys haven't done it yet, get your copy from Books.io of Battlefield Earth book or audiobook. It's an amazing story. Joe can talk about it. Yes. So can Owen. So can Sheila. In fact, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Quill, we can talk about Battlefield Earth while I head out to the airport. Nice seeing you guys.
Safe travels, John.
Be safe, John.
Okay, bye-bye.
Be safe.
I need to hop off too, guys. So I was.
Yeah, somebody was trying to get you her posters earlier. Somebody kept asking about her posters behind her.
Oh yeah. Feel free to share my email. I'm just Sheila at book.io. So happy to help any authors out there get you published, get up on our website, and get money. That's the point. Yeah, help you keep writing, help you keep creating. So thank you, Joe. Really nice to meet you, Owen.
Nice to meet you too, Sheila. Hope you have a beautiful evening.
You too, guys. Thank you so much for having me again, Joe. Appreciate it.
Hope we'll see you out at Writers next year.
Yes. I would love to. All right.
You should.
Yes. I try to get out every year. Go work press. Give me something to do in April.
Nice.
So keep me in trouble.
Happy to.
Jesse Lee, that picture back there that you can't actually see, that's a Frank Frazetta. Yes, it's a classic too.
Yes.
Signed, numbered. It's actually this picture right here, I believe.
It is.
Yes.
The Battlefield Earth cover, it looks like.
Yeah, I believe that's a picture right there. It was a gift a long time ago. Yeah. It sits back there. Usually there's light on it, but there's none today for some reason. I see the little pink lights lit up underneath it.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
All right, guys. I will see you next time, and hopefully see you in person soon.
Okay. Safe journey.
See you.
So what you do? A podcast, radio show? Which one? Both?
We do a little bit of everything and beyond. I'm actually working with my good buddy Chris McCauley. He's a sci-fi, fantasy, horror, everything. We're working on developing a Dracula project and film and other things, comic books, games. Do podcasting. I've been doing podcasting already for 20 years, roughly coming up on this next year or so. Run SciFiction.com, which is like a literature media news publishing platform where we have a team of international writers that write about all the goodies, everything from sci-fi, anime, cyberpunk, video games, you name it, space.
We do a lot of authors. We do a lot of science fiction authors too. We do. We do a lot of authors in general because we handle. Currently, we're running 45 shows. So so that's 45 live shows. It's not anything that's syndicated or anything along those lines. But
that's cool.
Those they vary in topic. Like the show coming up after this is called The Chat. The Chat is it was an accident. And it's a non-topic show. There's no topic involved. It's like
That's
Seinfeld for chat. So it's a lot of times people will send us in stuff, or we'll have stuff like last night. We host News on Flipside from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. That's a news show. So sometimes we'll start out with just hardcore news, no opinion, just the news, and then usually the second hour will either be some satire or there'll be some opinion on the news, and then depending on. Because the last couple of weeks, it's actually been slow news cycles. There hasn't been much going on, especially for a 4-hour news show. So we've been getting a lot of clips in and a lot of other stuff. And then, of course, we'll slip in some stuff like Bill and Law or John Fetter or the Kennedy stuff or the baby news network.
Baby news, like AI stuff.
They put shit up. I mean, they just, some of the satire they do is just hilariously funny. And somehow or another, and they're being fairly rude to Joe Biden, but it's still funny as hell. It's
there's a guy on there that you need to, if you ever want to find some funny stuff. There's two guys, the Barney McFly and the Doc Brown. There's a guy, I think his page is it's like Wilford Brimley, like the Ghostbusters are catching the ghost of Wilford Brimley, and it's like he'll be on Larry King and have a sugar rush and blast on diabetes, and it'll come to the wall. That's channel. So Dr. Beatus, I believe, is his channel. Yes, that's the name of the channel.
Yeah. Yes, camera, turn off already. We had some weird anomaly. So a couple of weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, we had a lightning bolt hit in the backyard about 8 feet from where the camera was. Freaked the camera out. Camera started working again. Last week, I have this massive ponderosa pine in my backyard right next to the bayou where I live. And a big old bolt hit it. Came right down the side, scarred up the tree pretty good. Didn't split it, but scarred it up, and it killed the wisteria underneath it. Just turned it all black. But it also tripped the cameras. So the other night, I'm like, what the hell? So I thought there was like some kind of lightning flash in front of your because there's this weird light that lights up the camera, picks up as motion sensor cameras, and they have night vision, and it picked it up. And you see this light just kind of moving around out in the yard. I actually posted it on my Facebook page somewhere, and then the cameras all go off. And then they all come back on. And then last night, you see some light in my backyard, and then my camera still won't come back. I can't get them to reconnect to the system.
Wow. That's wild. So it was moving. It wasn't just a bright flash and gone. It was moving.
It was moving. And then there's another one taken at night off to the weather. So if you're sitting in my backyard, I live on the Holly Bayou, which is about 100 yards from the Gulf of America. And so we're right there. And then if in any direction you look around me, there's water. In some direction or another, there's water. So, I'm looking out over the other way the other night, and the moon comes over my house, not behind my house. When you see this thing that looks like the moon, it's in the sky, and it's slowly but surely crossing the sky.
Right.
And then as it gets to its last position over the Gulf, you see the moon starting to come up over my house. the hell it was. Now Gene said maybe it's that Gene said maybe it's that second moon. I'm like, no, I don't think you can see the second moon with the naked eye.
So it's a glitch in the programming structure.
Something. Well, I mean, there's a lot of UFO sites. Right?
Of course.
They and we're not very far from. I live in between the NASA Students Facility and the CP space, and then the Air Force base. You know, you never know what you're going to see flying around here.
Right.
But I was sitting out on the beach with my wife about 10 years ago when we see this thing come out the water. Best part about this was you hear my friends say, "Oh, Dad, what's that?" And then you see this weird goldish greenish light out in the Gulf.
In the world? Wow.
And you start seeing it push out of the water, and I'm like, well, I think I've seen something like this before. And it comes up, it gets out the water about 100 feet. It's obviously a saucer. You're sitting there, we're all sitting there watching it.
Under some kind of something.
So I'm trying to take pictures with this little Kodak. So the organization's required people to carry a Kodak camera, sealed film camera, 400 film, and a digital camera and whatever else in their phone. That way you get multiple pictures from different sources. And the sealed camera, they're sealed, so you know it's not being. Well, nothing came out. I mean, it was all blurry, but nothing we didn't expect. But the best part was about 150 yards behind us was 2 state troopers parked like this, chit-chatting. And they seen it come over the car. They freaked out. I mean, they flipped out hardcore. And just recently, I had one of them on the show because he finally retired.
Okay.
So he was willing to come out and talk about what he saw. He said, I'm not sure. He said, all I can tell you for sure is it's not anything from this planet. And this event was a good 20 years ago. That was 20
and that's pre all this digital and AI. And this could have been really
so,
something that we don't know what it is. But
so and we've got good footage out of places like Gulf Breeze, Florida, and
there's a lot of UFO sightings.
So there's a case down there. I was on an investigation. My wife and I went down. This is like in the late 90s. We go down there. We go have dinner with this couple that telling us about their contact. Like, wow, okay, it was crazy stuff. And so midnight we leave. We were at the restaurant. We had dinner. We had some pictures taken, stuff like that. We had one of those people walk around with the camera, took some pictures.
Right.
Anyway, we get back to the hotel. About 6:30 in the phone in the hotel room, phone's ringing. Not my cell, but the hotel. I'm like, what the hell? Who the hell? I answer, and this woman's just screaming at the top of her lungs. I'm like, what the hell? You got to get over here. You got to get over here. Something happened. I'm like, so my wife's like, what? I said, I don't know. So we get up dressed. We get over there. And I walk in. I'm like, what's the matter? And I look up at her husband. He's got a beard like this. I mean, like this.
Full beard.
He was clean shaven the night before. She's got hair on her leg this long. Now, we've got pictures of her. She's clean shaven. Nice legs, walking around in her dress. Obviously no hair anywhere. Both of them. So I had him go see a doctor. And the doctor said that can't have happened. So they showed the doctor the pictures from him because, lucky for us, the pictures were time stamped.
Okay.
So date and time stamped. So he was like, well, how can that? So the doctor's looking up spontaneous hair growth like it's a thing or something. No one could come up with an answer. So he decided to send him to a specialist. And the specialist said, well, I would figure your beard looks like 4 to 5 weeks worth of hair. She said her legs looks like 3 to 5 weeks worth of hair.
So where were they? They were time dilation or something.
They were pulled out of time. So a long time ago, iCar broke something that really pissed off the community bad. I remember George Moore asked me about it. So we had realized something, that the amount of missing time cases were going away. There just wasn't very many missing time cases. And we couldn't figure out, well, what the hell are they stopping taking people? And memories seem to be disappearing. I'm like, so on an off-shot weird case, this woman, a contactee, was pregnant. She used to drive back and forth to work every day, right? So she's going to work in the morning. And every morning she used to stop at 8:30 in the morning and get this cheesy, chili cheese dog, right? I'm thinking, when she described it, it sounded like someone would probably kill one of us, man. Right. It was a big foot long, full of onions and shit. I'm like, girl, really?
Loaded.
She's like, yeah, every morning, Joe, for like 5 months.
Every morning.
I'm like, God, help you people around you. So anyway, long story short, so she calls me up one afternoon. She said, man, I had one of them chili dogs. It was fat. I'm like, how can you should create a chili dog? And this is like a couple of years later. She said, no, you're missing the point. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, Joe, placed me close for 2 years. Wow. She said, how can I have had this So after that, I started looking into other cases we had because organization. We have 144,000 investigated cases. That's cases that we consider that probably are real. That's not how many organizations actually investigated, but at one time we had more than 1,000 people.
Separate cases, right?
Yeah, and we had a lot of investigators. We still do have at least 150 investigators. At one point, we had over 1,000.
That's cool.
And so we really were looking into this. So I stumbled across another case, Gulf Breeze, Florida.
Okay.
Couple staying at a hotel down there. Leaves their hotel right at 10:45, goes and stops at the local 7-Eleven, goes in, gets their junk, goes and parks their car on the beach, goes out to the beach, has some weird experience, goes on, right? Okay.
Right.
So no big deal. So they find a ticket in their car, and the ticket says 10 to 10. And she's like, there's no way, Joe. We were still at the hotel. So I called the hotel. The hotel said, yeah, they were in their room. You can look at the video. We went, looked at the video, and they were in, and the car was there, and they were there. It's like, okay. So I called the dispatch for Gulf Breeze, and whatchamacallit county, I forgot the name of the county. And they said, oh, no. The timestamp says it was 10 minutes to 10 when the car was parked.
Whoa.
He said, no, we have it on camera. Yeah, he says, we have it on camera. So I'm like, well, that just it can't be. So I went and talked to the witnesses, and the people at 7-Eleven remember seeing the people there at 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
They said they were there at 11 o'clock. And the people at the front desk remember seeing you see him get in the car and leave and go there at that time. But yet the cops got the car in video there at 10:10, and then we got lucky in a corner. The cop pulled the corner. Police came going into the park, and lo and behold, at about 15 minutes at 10, there was their car entering the park.
Wow.
So that very moment, I stopped it, pulled it, called the hotel, pulled it, and the car was gone. But the car was never gone for more than about 4 minutes.
Wow. That's all on video. You've got all that documented.
That's all documented.
Wow.
It was, so, and
something's with that, man. That's another.
He's like, so what happened? I said, it sounds like with the case with the hair, it sounds like they pulled him out of time, did their thing, and then put him back within 5 or 10 minutes of the time they took him. And I said, I think they started doing that because I think they realized that researchers figured out missing time is an abduction. Cover memories are easy to break. So the next thing we found out is they quit doing cover memories. And we couldn't figure out what they were doing. Well, they're doing looped memories. And this was slick. I got to give them credit for this. They realized that we were retrieving cover memories. So what they decided to do was they picked something that you considered mundane. Like when you get up and brush your teeth.
7-Eleven or what?
You drive to work every day. Whatever it is, just something you're not going to question. So when they take you now, that's the memory they give you. And you don't question it. Unless there's a glitch in the memory, which is the only reason we find out, because every now and then they screw up and there's a glitch. There's no way of knowing. You just, as far as your brain's concerned, nothing happened. So now we know. It also helped prove to us that in the old days, when they used to say they seen owls, deers, and stuff, those were cover memories. Those weren't cover memories. Those were trigger memories. And we realize that because in today's world, they still have trigger memories. Even though they're using this sophisticated way of hiding the memory now, they still leave something for the person to question. So it'll trigger the memory. So if they didn't want you to remember, they wouldn't trigger it.
Right. But what about I just for instance, say you're sitting in a parking lot and then you see somebody come out of a building that looks like your buddy or whoever, and then they get in the car and drive off, and then literally maybe a minute, 2 minutes later, you see the same person walk out that you're waiting for, your buddy, and they get in the car like, wait a second, you want to, what is that? Just curious.
Yeah, see, that's more than likely somebody who had been taken. And that, and you're seeing the beginning.
The person that was watching it, seeing all that.
Yeah. So you're seeing the beginning of what happened, and then you're seeing the end of what happened. You just happened to have been in the spot where they decided to take him and put him back in. So they use the same location. So if they would have chose two different locations, you would have never noticed. But by using the same location, and there's probably a reason why. He was probably there for something earlier. So that's probably why they used that location, because he's not going to question it. Yeah, he's just.
What do you think the motive is for plucking out of time for some objective, or what would be the objective?
Basically, they take us out of time now so that it's harder for research. So the amount of abduction researchers in the field has dropped by 60%. So when I got in this field, you said the word abduction, you got hated on. Okay. Piola Harris, Richard Dole. I mean, I pissed off so many people in the first 2 years I was doing radio. It wasn't even funny. Matter of fact, my very first show I ever did was with Michael Black. First 2-hour show we ever did. I figured I was fired. We got in a 2-hour fight. First show I ever did. And I mean, it was a knockdown, drag out fight. It was over the golf breeze, whatchamacallit, Ed Walters videos. That happened.
That was the ones back like in the 90s, right? With the UFOs.
Yeah, the ones where you get the UFOs, and he tried to say like 5 years later, some kid came out with a paper mache UFO out of the attic. I'm like,
I remember that.
I said, don't be a dumbass. He's like, what do you mean? I
said, ain't no paper mache.
I said, first off, I'm a contractor. Somebody went up in that attic. If there was that UFO in there, somebody would have brought it down a long time ago, man. Right. And I said, since then, the house has been up for sale. God knows how many people have been in that attic. So what are you telling me? Nobody saw the UFO, and then all of a sudden this kid was playing it and found it. I said, that's bullshit. I said, but Golf Breeze has been lucky because we were there on vacation. We went on a 12-day vacation. And the first day we were there, Unsolved Mysteries was there along with
Robert Stack. I remember that.
Yeah. And they were out there. They were staying at the same hotel with us, but they had a big group out there, and they had the mayor and police chief and a bunch of other groups out there. And they got on the fishing pier that night. And something came out of the back bay, glowing green, cruising on the water. It came under the fishing pier where we went under the main bridge, and then went under the train trestle, went out about 200 yards, lifted out of the water, and just sat there. And these golden balls like this size were just dripping off the bottom. It looked like liquid metal just dripping. Wow. I couldn't tell you what.
So why is it always gold? It seems like you said the gold is.
I don't know. That's weird because a lot of times you don't even really pay attention to color.
Well, they've talked about ancient civilizations being interested in gold for some reason, from some intrinsic value.
And I wondered about that, but then I got to thinking about something I heard Elon Musk say.
Okay.
So right now there's an asteroid in the asteroid belt that's worth more than everything on this planet, 100 million tons. One asteroid.
What's that? I forget the designation of them. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it does a name of, but it's not the only one by any means. But what they have also said is that there's a lot of gold in there. There's also a lot of gold on Mars. They're saying gold is actually going to be quite plentiful. So why would an alien race come here to get it? Well, we do have an atmosphere, so that's a plus. But according to the Sumerians, whoever came couldn't breathe the atmosphere. They built domed white cities so they could live there.
Right.
So
you heard of the Michael Sarian theory, though, about the detonation of the Oceania, which became the asteroid belt, and the whole moon thing and all that.
Well, so this is interesting. So we've talked about this, and this has got me in many, because I've talked with a lot of geeky scientists. Like we have a bachelor's in science.
Yeah, of course.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson and I got in a couple of heated discussions over the fifth planet. Michio Kaku was different, and so was Paul Levesque. He was also different, and Paul Levesque's a quantum mechanics. It's so I said, well, wait. I said, I'm confused. I said, more than likely that was a planet. I said, I know when we were taught in school, it didn't form. I said, but now we found compressed metals that can only be formed inside of a forming
inside of the core of a planet.
Yeah, right. So this had to have been a planet at one time. So they're not really arguing about that. So now the argument is what happened. Well, Jupiter's right there. Maybe the tidal force between Jupiter and Mars.
So it's big planet, big storm.
Or it's the legendary Nibiru. Nibiru was supposed to be a planet 5 times the size of Earth that came to our solar system periodically. Yep. Well, if it was coming through one time and it got too close to Jupiter, well, guess what just
exploded and became fragments, right?
And now it's pieces. Well, you can see Mariner Valley on Mars, something big, just gouged. It doesn't look like a water. Yeah, it doesn't look like water made it. It looked like something gouged it out. And then you can see Olympus Mons, which is, you can see on the other side, something hit it and created this big, huge volcano that shoots shit into space.
What's your thoughts on that, the Cydonia region and all the stuff they've talked about on that?
Well, I've been doing aging craters for Mars for like 25 years, and I started with SETI. So SETI started. I got SETI runs on all the station computers now with hundreds of millions of hours now. It's amazing.
Search for extraterrestrial intelligence with those big dishes and all that.
But they also hook you up with NASA, who asks you to do stuff like aging craters and finding things on the surfaces and stuff like that. So NASA sends you a bunch of JPL and Milan photos and sends you the software to go through it. And it ages. It tells you by different colors how old the blast zone is or stuff like that.
But the imaging or whatever.
So when you're looking at this, so clearly they sent me the Cydonia region was in one of the packs.
Okay.
So the face doesn't as much look like a face when you see it a little closer up. It looks more like some kind of weird valley, which there's no way of really knowing until we actually go and really take a good hardcore.
True. Like that movie with Don Cheadle.
But those 5-sided pyramids are still 5-sided pyramids. They still look the same. They do not look naturally current. And you can tell there's sand buildup on the sides of them from a particular direction. So you can even tell there's an X amount of wind coming from a particular direction. Well, I said back 40 years ago that we were going to find water on Mars and the moon and other places, that we're going to find out that water is not rare, that it's abundant. And well, guess what? We found out that it's abundant.
We found it. Yep.
Yeah, especially in our Oort climate. It's everywhere. But we know it's on Mars now. We know there's liquid water on Mars. And we're pretty sure there's going to be some type of life on Mars. Those gas, those
microbial or something. Yeah.
Well, no, it's going to be more than that because they have found methane and oxygen plumes, big ones. So it suggests that something underground. Maybe there's an underground pond, underground stream. Maybe there's some amoebas living there. Maybe there's some rudimentary plant vegetation with some insects or crabs or something living in, and it's dying. And when vegetation dies, it creates methane.
Right.
Methane pockets up. When it gets to a hole, it pushes out. But really, that's about the only thing that creates methane is rotten vegetation, or rotten food. But it's usually something that was alive that is now dead that creates methane. So, and then having oxygen and methane suggests that, it's more than likely something's alive. And not only is something's alive, but it's more along our biological systems. And then there's another weird anomaly that humans and psychologists hate to talk about. So Earth has a 23 3/4 hour day. Mars has a 24 1/4 hour day. I got a question. Why is your biological clock set to 24 1/4 hour days when you live on a planet with a 23 3/4 hour day?
Maybe we're not from Earth.
So, and the optimal body temperature for humans to live in would have been found on Mars 55 million years ago. It is not found on Earth. Earth is actually too hot for us and has too much gravity for the body design.
That gets into the ancient astronaut Von Daniken-esque motif, if you think about it. We don't know.
It's more than likely, and this is sheer speculation, but more than likely what happened was a long time ago, there was probably a colony here, maybe a reptilian colony, something else, because we know about the map of the creator, the Pravda map. It's 120 million years old. It's an area resource map. So nobody was flying around 120 million years old that I know of. So you get these things, you get these old parts that suggest there was a more advanced civilization here at one time that's now gone. Recently, we found a total of 5 cities now that date back 15,000 years. That's double what man's supposed to have been.
Not to mention all the satellite imaging from like Belize and all those ruins that are just in the jungle.
That LiDAR keeps finding everywhere. It's just the more we look, the more we find out that one, we've been lied to pretty hardcore, and two, the intelligence on this planet's been here for a longer period of time than we realize. But then you got another weird freak thing that pops up, and this is one of the things that got me all over television for a while was the Rh negative thing.
Okay.
So 65% of everyone who says they've been taken has Rh negative blood. And out of that, half of them have O negative blood, which is the universal donor and the purest form of blood known to man. So, but Rh negative is a baby killer.
Right.
So Mother Nature wouldn't have created this. So somehow or another, a baby killing blood managed to get a 15% hold on the world's population in less than 40,000 years. How the hell is that happen? And then on top of that, Rh negative people are different than Rh positive people in many ways. It's almost like it's a second generation or a second coming. It's an adjustment to the population.
That's interesting. Very fascinating.
And according to NASA, according to the Air Force and the Navy, the majority of telepaths that they've hired have Rh negative blood.
So it's like if you run a copy like a real life mutant X gene from like X-Men or something like that.
It's a weird thing. It's and you know what? It was one of those things when we seen it that was totally unexpected. No one expected to see when we did the blood type study. It was on I think the original study was on 40-something thousand contactees. Now it's well over 100,000. And originally we thought it was going to be what the percentage is of blood around the world.
Right.
When I found this, I called a friend of mine who was a hematologist. We brought in the top 3 hematologists in the world to look at this. Matter of fact, the findings are on the ICAR website. The maps are on the website, the whole 9 yards. We found out stuff like South America. South and Central America is 98% O blood.
Almost all O blood.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah.
And let's not forget the Spanish invaded South America and really more like Central America, but still.
Central, yeah, but I'm not saying.
But still, it's still 98%. But when you get to America, it's the regular mix: 36% that, 38% that, 7% that, 5% that. Jesse, technically, AB negative and positive, the rarest form of blood, is at 1.5% in the common blood types. But technically, when you get right down to it, it's actually O negative, because even though O negative is 7%, it's the universal donor, which means AB can take O negative, but O negative can only take O negative. They cannot take any other blood type. But while I'm saying that, there are other weird blood types out there that they don't talk about much, because most of them go extinct before they ever get to anywhere. Like
what's the weirdest one you've come across in the blood types?
They've got the golden blood, they've got the red blood, but most of them wear themselves out before they get it. They had found one that was very, very rare. 2 people in the world had it. Well, the son just died and the mother's on the way to die, so it's gone now. It's not going to exist anymore. And there's a lot of them that just pop up like that. And by the way, some of those, the universal donor does not work. About half of them, yeah. So it's almost like somebody or something, or maybe it's Gaia. Somebody out there is moving puzzle pieces around for the next step in our evolution. And so we know RH negative was the RH negative saved so many lives that it's not even funny. Just a universal donor alone saved just basically millions of lives, and still does even today, because hospitals and ambulance don't have to stock a bunch of different types of blood. They can just stock it. Well, it helps people, and we always say that, but it's really more the plasma than it is the blood.
Right, the plasma.
Yeah, Jimmy. No, we got to go in a few minutes. We already probably over on time. But Owen's going to tell us where his podcast is, where all y'all can go check him out and say hi and take a good listen. And because I'm always listening for anything science or sci-fi.
We've got a little bit of it all. If you go to SciFiction.com, and there's all our featured podcasts are there. You click the podcast section, interviews of the video versions. We also are on SoundCloud, Spotify, with Apple iMusic, and we have a lot of other channels on social, Instagram, and all the whole gauntlet of stuff back here. But the hub is SciFiction.com.
Yeah, well, you can't get these days. You just can't get on too much. I mean, on social media, I think we're on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, the usual culprits. And then on television, we're on Roku, Fire Stick, Roku, Fire Stick, Samsung, Apple, OSI, and Google Television. So you get us in all 6 forms of people. That's real TV, guys. Yes, that's not fake. That's real TV. So you can watch us on your 70-inch in your kitchen. And matter of fact, the reason we do that is because you mentioned the skull earlier. You can't see in regular definition, but there's stuff inside his eye. So when I'm giving away money or lightsabers, like we give away lightsabers every year.
I love lightsabers.
Oh man, we got a guy out of the UK. So the most expensive ones he sends is what's his name? The new bad guy in the new Star Trek, the son of Solo.
Oh yeah, you talking about the half Klingon or from?
No. This I'm thinking about Star Wars. He's
Star Wars.
Kylo Ren. Yeah, Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren with the double, like the crossbow.
He's got the big red one with the piece. So that one goes for about $1,100. He gives that one away.
That's got to be a hardcore electronics in that, like a NeoPixel Profi 2.2 loaded to the gills.
One of the ones that get liked a lot is Qui-Gon Jinn and. And
you don't see a lot of people with those sabers. You see the Obi-Wans and the Lukes and all the
standard Darth but you see what's his name? Master Windu's, because this is purple.
Yeah, that's a cool one. We know why it's purple in the lore, right? Supposedly he saved a village and they gave him a rare purple kyber crystal, which he constructed his new suit. It's also blinged out with gold. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, so it's weird. So you can get any lightsaber from him for $200 and under. If you want one with no noise, it's about $100. If you want noise, about $200. Right. But if you want one of the Star Wars ones, he has every one ever made, and they're perfect replicas, so you can get any one you want.
Who is that? Who has the guy from England? You said UK?
Yeah, he's from England. Yeah, well, I got his card somewhere, but he's not the only one. There was 3 different dealers there when I was there. I was at FanEx. I seen him at Dragon Con, but I was busy with something else. I was talking with some sword dealers at Dragon Con because I collect swords. But when I was at FanEx, I was looking at one of the girls that started talking to me, and I told her what we did. She said, "Well, why don't you talk to Owen? He'll probably just give you one if you put it on your show." And it's sitting over there right now. It's on. It gets on the show a lot. But he didn't realize he gave the first one away. By the time he gave the 3rd lightsaber away, he had already sold 11 lightsabers from people who were watching us give them away. Because what was happening was like the one lady, she got the Kylo Ren, and then she decided she wanted what's her name, what's her name's thing,
Ahsoka or
the good girl in Star Wars.
Ahsoka.
No, not Ahsoka. Ahsoka's cool. But she was
Sabine, Ahsoka, Sabine.
She was a little white girl. I think she was like Ray or something. But
Ray,
anyway,
okay, talking about the new ones, right?
Yeah. So because the new
Ray
ones,
Skywalker.
Yeah, that's what it is actually. So
the
new ones you get people, but that's about the only 2 new ones you hear about. All the rest of them are going to be older ones. And then like I said,
Star Killers are cool ones. Yeah, like the one with the exposed kyber crystal and all that.
They got some cool ones they put up. But I mean, he gives away about 30 of them a year. With his last year, I think he gave away about almost 40.
Balin Skulls, the late Ray Stevenson saber was a really cool one. The weathered version. It's a simple saber, but it looks really cool.
Yeah, we gave away a bat a while back, and the guy says, "Is it real?" I said, "Yeah, it's real." I said, "It even comes with a warning and a disclaimer." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, cut your fingers off, dude."
Is it a real Batarang?
It's a batleth, for the Klingon.
Oh, batleth. Oh, you mean like for Klingon, like warfare?
And it was nice. It was all done, and I think that one was done in 440 surgical stainless steel. So
that's serious stuff.
And, I got different knives made, different things. I got some Damascus.
Was it a cutlery company made the ones like the dagger like that? They made a limited one back in the 90s. You could get it was a cutlery knife to have. If you flip the switch, the little blades like the Klingon goes out like that. But you can never find them at cutlery shops. They've been sold out for years.
Oh yeah, T. Fine. That's the boss. But guys and girls, we got to get out of here. I know Jay and I will be crying a little bit because I haven't even posted the next show for the chat. But y'all catch Owen. Anytime you want to come hang out, just let us know.
For sure.
So on Wednesdays, I host UFO on the Cover, which is 26 years old now.
Cool.
And so it's been around a lot. Every major you followed she's ever existed has been on the show. Matter of fact, Stan Frieden and I talk so much. We talked so much, we started just talking about what he did when he was alive. Like, because people don't realize, everybody says, oh, he was a PhD, no, but he was a nuclear physicist. Matter of fact, him and I had one of the most interesting conversations on nuclear powered aircraft and why they don't exist today. Because the military had made them. We actually had nuclear aircraft that could fly for long periods of time.
Right. Even the Voyager crafts were powered by nuclear reactors.
Yeah. So in the short, people, the reason why we don't have nuclear planes flying around is because they were scared our airports were going to be turned into dirty rooms. So they decided that it wasn't worth the risk. But now with the new container ones, they got one plane could one little mini rod and like a 747 could fly for 25 hours. So you wouldn't even have to take it to refuel it at the airport. You could take it to a special location. But they still said if someone threw a bomb underneath it, would blow up and spread radiation. Or if it crashed, it would spread radiation. So they decided, no, people, do you know how much cheaper it would be flying today if these things had these little pellets in them?
Very cheap, like $1 or maybe less.
It would be cheap. Oh, speaking of that, before we go, we carried on last night's show. Delta came out and said expect to see the airplane prices, trip prices go down by half or more. They said yesterday that jet fuel plummeted, and they're buying it up while it's cheap so they could keep these going for a while. So there you go. And any other news you can keep? No, Chris, you can come ask me that on the chat. Not on the show, but you can ask me in the chat. Well, you should have asked that last night on news on the flip side. Yeah. One of the boys would have got into. Well, we do a lot of news, but we got to go. We're already we're like 22 minutes over. Thank God.
I'll see you later.
For 2 shows.
I had a good time, man. Talk with you.
Oh, yeah. And anytime. Just John knows how to get in touch with me, and I'm easy to find. Guys, we're going to go and thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side and today's Author's Quill. I hope you enjoyed it. And Jimmy, I do own UFO Paranormal Radio Network too. I also own PRN Talk Radio. I guess all three of them. They're all affiliates and they're all related to each other, but they all do different topics. Yes. Anyway, on that note, good night and stay tuned for the chat where the insane come to, well, basically rest. Good night, everybody.